Welcome back to Seneschal. Today I'm going to take a look at the most recent Battle Sister Bulletin, number 5, Vehicle Details. This one is both exciting and super depressing for me since I own so many Rhino chassis, but I kind of now want to get the new ones when they arrive because those extra touches and details are really awesome. They start off describing the Mark 1 Demios pattern and Mark 2 Mars pattern Rhinos and the very distinct look of the more old school Mark 1 Demios. And I have to say I agree that I like the Demos pattern more. I still use the Demos pattern Rhinos, often when I'm running just a standard Rhino. I use the Mark II Mars pattern stuff for my repressors and my immolators, but I really do like that Mark I style. I will say, though, that while I love the look of them, their lack of height can sometimes be a detriment, since they don't really do anything to block line of sight, to characters, or anything like that. That being said, I love the charm of the older Rhino chassis. So with them stating that they're looking at the Sisters Rhino chassis variants being redesigned to represent the Demos pattern Rhino, we're getting a reworking of the circular door, but with significantly more detail. I love the fleur-de-lis in the skull, though the cherubs are a little strange with that half-step angel baby body and the half-skull-faced monster thing going on. But I'll live with it. I like the rest of it. Everything else is good. And honestly, if I was more talented with green stuff, and I may try to just redo something in that spot instead of having the cherubs there. Next, they talked about the exhaust being redesigned and given more detail. And the 3D rendering on this one just made my day. I love everything about this. Now, I am interested to see how this will work on the more modern Rhino chassis, since I assume this will largely be an upgrade sprue for our normal Rhino rather than them printing up old school tiny Rhinos or even upscaling them so they match the size of the modern ones for modern troops. But this exhaust made to look like a brazier, imagining bellowing smoke rising up from these, it both being intimidating and also a natural smoke launcher for that special rule would be really cool. In a similar way, we have described sisters approaching their weapons before as relics to be revered and hallowed as tools of the Emperor's divine retribution. They say the vehicles are getting details that show their antiquity, that generations of artificers have added onto the work of their predecessors. In relation to that, they show the side panel. That certainly lends credence to these being an upgrade sprue, as this piece looks like it is designed to fit on the correct shape of the current style Rhino kit. I also love this piece. The shrine, the filigree, the fleur-de-lis immediately mark it as a Sororitas model, and that is what I want to be able to look at nearly any part of the model and be able to identify the faction, much like you can see part of most Tau or Mechanicus models and immediately know that's the faction that birthed that design. Lastly, for the Rhino chassis, I think we have my favorite design and reveal of this bulletin, the arches and shrines on the rear Rhino plate. This is just gorgeous. Taking what normally is a boring, almost bare piece of plastic and turning it into a work of art like this is just amazing. Doubles down on the idea of generations of artisans building onto the vehicles with their own symbols of worship for the god emperor or wards of protection for the vehicle itself, but also for the Sororitas warriors that will depend on it for protection and deliverance. I may have to figure out a way to rip off every single old Rhino back door and install this door on every single new one. That's how much I love that piece. Now, in a sneak peek for what is likely another reveal, probably the next bulletin, they gave a look at the headpiece of the new Penitent engine. Now, that one's a dramatic change from the original design. This one really accentuates the neural linkages for the pilot that constantly inject them with the stims and drugs that only give them calm when they purge the enemies of the Emperor. The old ones are all this tucked in on the back of the head and body, so while they're absolutely there and if you're looking for it you'll see those details, but it doesn't draw attention to it as much as this new design does. There is definitely no escaping the pain and the neuroinjectors in this new design. It also plays up the fact that these are essentially prisoners who are working out their sentences rather than holy warriors driven by purity, both in the neck shackle as well as what I'm assuming is supposed to be like a prisoner number or a Penitent engine number. So I'm excited for this because both of those are fantastic touches that tell a story with a very small amount of details on the plastic. I'm excited to see more as well, hopefully have them confirm my pipe dream of Penitent engines getting buffed and maybe given the order tag or something. Alright, let me know what you thought of this week's Battle Sister Bulletin. what are you most excited about, and are you now considering picking up new Rhino chassis after seeing these sneak peeks? Also, want to touch on the community survey. First, don't forget to fill it out, get your chance to win some sisters. I'll go ahead and include that link in the description, but I can't imagine that any of you haven't already filled it out at this point, but just in case. Related to that, the fine print includes the value of the prizes, so it appears we have some possible information on what we're going to be looking at price-wise for sisters. The second prize is £35 value, which has been stated to be a Battle Sister squad. So obviously we don't have confirmation of the pricing for non-Brits, but current conversion rates put that at about $45 US, but likely it's going to follow what other products on GW's website that are £35 getting converted to dollars look like, and that typically is about $60 a box. So while I hope that ends up being wrong and we're looking at closer to $50, we may be looking at $60 Battle Sister boxes squads. We shall see how it actually turns out in the end, but for sure you're going to want to get your chance to win a box for free if those are the prices that it turns out at what we're looking at spending. I guess the one upside is it's still cheaper than what we were paying for the metal models. Alright, well that's going to do it for today. I hope you have a wonderful day, enjoy the hobby, have fun wargaming, and Ave Imperator.